I, um, it's New Year's Eve, and we're all meant to be out celebrating the new year. And if you're doing that, Happy New Year. Um, I honestly don't feel like doing it this year. I didn't really feel like doing it last year, but this year's been even worse. Not for me personally. I've had quite a decent year actually. Like a lot of people in my position who can work from home, who can get the groceries delivered, who can have access to walking countryside, things like that. It's been all right. But what the last 2 years has taught me is that we've lost most of our humanity, and as a collectiveness, a collective species, we are so selfish. We are so self-absorbed, and it takes very, very little for that to come through. We had this veneer that people cared about each other, and we cared about social change and and fair play and things like that, and we cared about what happened to other people. And 2 years into this pandemic, it's blatantly obvious that we fucking don't. Most people don't, and it's not the people who you would expect. It's not the poor, it's not the underprivileged, it's the middle classes with the money and the resources to sit on this and be happy about it. And it's really, just destroyed my faith in humanity. You know, and it is, and it's it's all these people who sit there and go, well, lockdowns aren't too bad. It's not been that difficult. You can work from home. You can Zoom call. Well, what about the people who can't work from home, which is the vast majority of this population? What about the people who don't Zoom call? What about the people whose kids, when they're out of school, have no one to look after them because the parents are out making a living because they can't work from home? What about them? They're the ones falling behind, not the one who's mummy and daddy. Mummy, yes, Tristan. Could you go through this working from home with me, mummy? Of course I can, Tristan. Just 1 second. Oh, office, I'll zoom you back. The parents are in fucking Tesco's stacking shelves or driving lorries or driving buses or trains. They're the people who have suffered during this, and they're the people who will continue to suffer during this. Happy New Year, we say. Happy New Year. Well, if you've got a few quid and you live in a nice house and you work in middle management or all the other things, or whatever, it will be a Happy New Year, won't it? Dog's drinking, you can hear. But it will. But not for other people. Not for people who maybe have 2 or 3 kids and live in a 2-bedroom flat in a city centre with no access to getting out, and during the lockdown it was a fucking nightmare for them because they couldn't go for a walk, they couldn't get fucking Farquhar to deliver their fucking groceries, and they couldn't just wander out into the garden. They were stuck inside. People in terraced houses, the real people who work for this country. What about them? Was it easy for them? Was it not too bad for them? And now they're faced with rising prices, inflation, gas prices going up, energy prices going up, food prices going up, fuel prices going up. What's it going to be like for them next year? Because their wages ain't going to go up. I'll fucking tell you that. So are they going to be the ones having to choose between heating the house and feeding the kids. Because the people who were, well, it's not so bad, is it? What are you complaining about? They won't be choosing between that. I'll tell you now. When did this society lose its compassion? When did it lose its empathy? When did we become uncaring? When did we become, people who judge people by what they do and don't do? When did we want to, section off a certain sector of society because they didn't do something that we think they should? Honestly, I don't think it's going to be a happy new year. I think it's going to be the same as the last 2 years. And I think for a certain small percentage, it's going to be fine. And for the other percentage who aren't as vocal, who don't shout out, who haven't got access to the Daily Mail or the fucking Times or the fucking Telegraph, and sometimes are afraid to speak up because they don't think maybe they're as well educated. Well, they're probably better educated than you fuckers who think you're clever. I worry about this next year. I genuinely do. There are people who are going to starve. There are people whose businesses are going to collapse. There are people whose lives are going to collapse. There are people who are going to die. And not of COVID, but maybe a cancer, or commit suicide because their mental health hasn't been looked after. Or maybe they haven't been picked up on a treatment or something like that. They're going to suffer because they can't get in to see a hospital or a doctor. For them, this next 12 months is going to be a nightmare. And we've let it happen. We've blindly gone down this route because it's comfortable. We're okay. Someone said to me, this was like the propaganda that's come out. It's a bit like being on a war footing. Thank God we're not at war. Because those last 2 wars that I can not remember but have been taught about, World War I and World War II, people gladly volunteered to sign up to go to the army. That's basically signing up with the fact to lose their life. That's so unselfish. But they did it for the greater good. What's the greater good? Whoa, fucking hell. I can't really see someone hoarding toilet roll or stripping supermarket shelves because they need to look after their family. We need to look after ourselves. I can't see them fucking standing on the front line. I can't see people queuing at petrol stations for hours on the back of one small article on a national newspaper. And once they filled the car up, then filling cans up and then driving home and going, well, if we need to go out, we can. We don't need to, but we can. You know. The Audi's full. The BM's full. I can't see them signing up to get fucking shot at because they're selfish. And people like me who are unvaccinated and have questioned this thing, we're the ones being targeted and demonised now. We're the ones being called selfish. Not the people who went and stripped those shelves, who went and filled their cars up when they didn't actually need to. They're not selfish. No, they're looking after their family. Yeah, I'm looking after my family. What about society? When did we stop caring about society? When did we stop caring about other people? When did we lose this? When did we start discriminating against people? So no, I'm not looking forward to this new year. I think there are glimmers of hope. I think there are people out there who do care. And I think there are people out there who still have empathy for other people and who still want the best. And we need to talk to them people and we need to debate with those people. And we don't need to scream at them and shout at them and we don't need to call them names. We need to try and see their point of view and understand their perspective. It's been a shit 2 years. And my children and their grandchildren and their children are going to have to pay for it. And we need to understand that. They are going to be paying for this for years and years and years to come. They won't be able to afford mortgages. Their children won't be as well educated. They won't be able to afford healthcare because the NHS is going to fucking collapse. But if you've got a few quid, you can do your Zoom in, you can work from home, you can afford your private healthcare. And if you've not, they're layabouts. They're on the dole. They're not looking to better themselves. Look what we've done. Yeah, Happy New Year.